Ah, Buddy the dog. Are you enjoying this? Oh, that's what I figured. You have to put on a show. But anyway, the sun is finally out. It's not raining, but it is getting hot. And I think this week it's supposed to be even worse. Hot, like 100 degrees every day hot. I don't know what the, humidity and all that's going to factor in and whatever. But not you, Buddy the dog, just me, have to go on a service call to work on something and at least get it tore apart to figure out what we need, even though I pretty well know what we are going to need. But it doesn't hurt to make sure, does it? And I will explain more about that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Russ Man. That's Buddy the dog. And we are going to go work on a 1650 diesel, which we have worked on before. But it is sitting out in the middle of a field somewhere. I have to find it. They kind of described to me where it was. And it has a blown something or other. It's leaking hydraulic fluid terrible. And so I assume that it's got a blown steering line up under the dash, in which case we will have to pull the fuel tank to get it out of there, to which I already told them, I said, hey, if I was you, not spending your money, if we're tearing that all the way down to do that and it's never had anything done, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to just go ahead and replace them all, whilst we're in there. And so I think they're on board with that. But I do want to tear it apart and make sure that it's really a line and there's not, like, who knows, strange things happen, Maybe the steering motor exploded or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not that at all. Maybe it's a different line and it just happens to be making a mess. They didn't really dive into it. When it started leaking, they called me and said, you come do it. So that's what I'm thinking. But I'm going to I think I'm going to take the white truck here and just grab a bucket of tools, things I think I'll need, because I may still not have what I need to do it. I don't know. I don't remember when we worked on it last what kinds of fasteners it has, if it's all the same stuff, if it's been changed, I don't know. It's a late 1650 in direct injection, and anyway, it should be straightforward. I also don't know if it's probably full of fuel, because if they had it away from home, it's very possible that it's got a lot of fuel in it. So I'm going to take my shaker hose and some cans that I can drain it out if that's the case, because I can't really manhandle a full tank of fuel. Maybe half tank, but not full tank. And I think I got empty cans here with me, but I do want to grab some more tools of things that we might need that I don't normally just have in my toolbox that I carry with me. I'll take some line wrenches, and probably better take a vice grip and the red pliers and stuff in case we got fittings that don't want to cooperate. And yeah, we'll just grab some random stuff we think we might need. I'll probably take the offset wrenches, and we'll see what we get into. Probably today what I'd like to do is I'd like to get my fence built, but that's not going to happen. The ground's too wet yet. We go over there, we're going to get it pulled apart. We're going to figure out what we need for sure. Then I'm probably going to end up putting part of it back together, because what I'm afraid of is I think that there's cows in there with it, and I can't leave sheet metal laying loose, or there's going to be flattened sheet metal when I get back, because a cow will absolutely see that and want to play with it, and they will have it smashed totally flat. I don't know. I hope it's not in the direct sunlight. I hope I can get it somewhere in the shade. I don't know a lot, but I know that we're going to have to fix it, and this is going to be the best day that we have. It's going to be worse every day. So although it may take a week to get the stuff, so maybe it won't matter. But enough talking. I'm gonna back this trailer up a little bit, probably just unhook it, because hopefully in the next few days we can do this, and all this is for basically right here. And I'll grab some stuff, and like I said, I need the shaker hose, some tools, and there was something else I just thought of that I might take. I can't remember what it was, but I'll get that stuff and then we'll head that way. All right, we're rolling. I think another project we got one of these days, amongst our many projects, is I want to go get some more, what do you call those? Wall blocks or whatever, like I used around the house. And I want to go around some trees and stuff and do that too, so that you don't have to mow. But I want to put one around that light pole with the new electric shut off and stuff on it, because that box sticks out on each side of the pole, probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches or more. And I'm afraid if I don't put something on the ground to avoid, one of these days I'm going to go driving through there and end up clipping that box and causing myself a bad problem. So, because then I'll have to pay for it again. It's the bad problem, you know. So I was thinking if I just go, and then that'll force me to drive over enough where stuff isn't going to hit it, but it'll still, like right now I could get through there, but if the mirror, you know, would rub against it, I don't know. The mirror probably won't hurt that box, but a tillage tool will, with something sticking out. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, there's supposed to be some gray gates. There's some gray gates there, but those are, I would call those silver gates, and I wouldn't drive on there. Okay, there's a barn back there, and I think I see it back there. So that answers my next question, which is, is the ground solid enough to drive on? Well, there's a driveway here, so that's good. And I know the guy who owns this ground anyway, so there shouldn't be any problem here. We've worked on his stuff before too. Alright, we need to make sure we close these, because like I said, I think there's bovines in here. I don't want them to escape on my account. Also, this footage will be handy for the trial before they send me to prison, so we'll keep this, you know, Exhibit B. It's nice when stuff, you know, gets as far away from the road as possible before self-destructing. That makes it nice. There's a rake. Oof. It is wet out here. I hope I don't get stuck. We're not in four-wheel drive yet though, so there is hope. Now the question will be, can I drive right up to it? It's out in the direct sunlight, although it's not too bad today. I am bummed though. I wish I'd have got here sooner, because they've already taken some stuff apart, and I hate they've taken a lot of stuff apart here. I hate that it got rained on a bunch in there. Yeah, the steering lines are garbage. You can tell that already. Dare I try to, well, they took the key. I don't know if I got one with me or not. What I'm wondering is, It's a lot greasier than I remember, isn't it? I was wanting to start it maybe and see how bad or where it was leaking before we disable it 100%. Well, if I had the plates on my semi, I'd just drive it out here and load it up, you know. But that ain't happening. I think we brought everything with us but the kitchen sink. Let's make sure it's in neutral. Let's cheat. Can we? I see which one it is, so I know now which one it is. But like I said, I think we're going to just replace them all, because why should we tear this down repeatedly when they're all about in equal condition of sadness, you see? And I feel like, oh man, that's what I was, man. Okay. Boy, I hate to tear this apart in the middle of a field, but that's the way life is. So because this is a very, very light one with the direct injection, this is very much identical to the 1655 we just did. So the procedure will be much the same as that. However, this one has the deluxe pre-cleaner on it, which kind of puzzles me that other one did not, you know? Most of the time when you had a diesel, they were always deluxe pre-cleaner. Okay, that's another thing I'm afraid of. So this is the kind of stuff I'm afraid of taking it apart out here in the grass. Stuff not being exactly what it should anymore. These things are supposed to be spot welded to the hood, but by now in the tractor's life, a lot of them are not. So that's one thing we got to watch. Okay, those are actually 1/2-inch bolts. That is a 5/16 muffler clamp. I'm going to try to just I think what I really want to do is get this apart, take the fuel tank out, and then put the sheet metal kind of back over it to protect it. Put the muffler back on, you know, the hood, muffler, all that. But just leave the fuel tank out. And then that should keep it safe. Oh, friends. That muffler's gonna be a pain in the canute to get off of there. I am using the yellow umbrella for my viewer. It's not perfect, but it does provide me a little relief. We got to be careful here because I noticed some other stuff. I foresee that there's going to be a new muffler in their future with this. But I also noticed that this is all messed up. It's got a stud twisted off. It's actually cracked through here. And I think it's cracked almost all the way around. So I can't really beat on that too much, or I'm gonna break that elbow off of there. I'd really love to get this home and just go through it, but we got to get it driving first. We'll worry about it later. We'll figure it out. I'll just be careful. on, muffler. Well, you shut off from heat, but there's why we're going to get them a different muffler. That one's full of water. And it buckles. No matter what I do to it, it's self-destructing. So that's getting replaced. I might see if I could get that elbow off of there and get it welded or find a different one of them. Maybe I got one, but I don't want it to get water in the motor. You know, maybe not today, but even at some point, we don't want that. You're getting too hot, so. You've had your chance. Now, we'll get this hood pulled off of here. Come on. Okay. Oh, I see why. Okay, let's work on this first. It's got schmutz. All right, we're both getting too hot, but we're good. We're doing good. Got the muffler off. It's junk. I'm gonna order a different one. I think I'm gonna take this with me and get it fixed, because a quick internet search looks like you can't get one. So if I can have somebody weld it very nicely all the way around there, because it is actually cracked. I got the bolts all broke loose. It's cracked from here all the way around into that bolt hole. And I don't know if there is a twisted off bolt in there or what. We might, I'm tempted to take the whole manifold, but you know, then we're opening up a whole can of worms. That's not what I'm here for. So I don't know. I probably have all new gaskets, you know, like, I don't know, but it's not worth it to do that right now if we're not going to fix all the other stressful issues that we got going here. And yeah, see, we got leaking. Where does a guy stop, you know? I want to do a good job, but I also don't want to run up a tab for no reason. But because this is going to be expensive enough with just the lines. So now what we need to do is we need to go get the battery cable loose so that we don't have that issue. Because we don't want to accidentally start it, or in theory, if we did this right, maybe we could save ourselves some struggle bus issues on getting it primed up again. Oh, there's the keys. And all the little screws from the dash. Which we might... Oh, this one, okay. They went to 112. Okay, we're good. I should have taken the other side loose like I started to. See, they went away from 2.6 volts and just put 112 in, which is the smart thing to do. But I was thrown by the fact that it still has 2 battery boxes, you know. Because you wouldn't have to, unless you wanted a secret compartment or extra storage or something. Okay. Whilst we're here, well, I may not have the right size wrench anyway. Nope. So basically the motor is the same as in that 1655, but that's about where the similarities end. The fuel filters are an old style, and then all of our, like our steering motor and all that's the old style, so it's not the same as what we just did. It's different. I'm gonna try to stay back far enough that we can cut cut my gut out of the film because, you know, my shirt's about half off already. Come on. Come on. All right, that is disabled. And we got the fuel shut off. Come on. We'll figure out something to put over that to wrap it up so that that doesn't get dirt in it. How heavy is it? It has got a lot in it. So now we're going to siphon some fuel, just like you did on Friday night out of the school buses, you know? All right, we're going to actually rinse my hose a little bit first before we save it. All right, the old shaker hose works pretty good. The only problem we got here is that, well, I've tried to use it on oil before, like hydraulic oil, and it will do that. But in my experience, it works better if you use the smaller diameter shaker hose, the thicker the material you're doing. Like this fuel, it works great. I mean, you barely shake it and it starts in and you're going good. But if you try to do like hydraulic oil, I found that this big diameter hose, you can do it. It's just hard to get it started and then maintain it. So, boy, I hope I got enough cans. I got 3 empty ones and one that's got a little bit of diesel fuel in it, so I guess they'll get that for free whenever I put it back in. I'm also torn on whether I leave this out here or whether I take the fuel back with me so that it doesn't get taken, or water in it or something. I don't think anybody would come out here, but I don't know that. I mean, there's a very real possibility that water could get in it if something happened, you know. I may just stack them under the tractor and be done with it. Although those are all my cans, so if I need cans this week, I'll be out of luck. Okay, friends, I got 15 gallons out of it. I put it in the truck because we're going to wash that tank before we put it back in, because this is nasty. I mean, this poor thing. I'm going to try to talk them into bringing it over to me when they're done with it sometime and let me fix that valve cover gasket and maybe put the different return tees on like I do so it's not leaking fuel anymore. The return hose is junk from the tank up there, so we're going to do something about that here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do something. I can't have this. This is not gonna fly. We'll try to clean this up a little bit, but there's not a lot of benefit I can do here when it's going to the bypass tube isn't even hooked in the thing anymore. Even if I clean this up now, it's got basically no valve cover gasket to speak of, it looks like. So it's going to just immediately go back to this mess. Ugh. Okay. Oh, we've softened the mud here. Let's get rid of that. Ugh. So this is the one that's got the sadness in it right now. I don't know if you can see the place where it blew right there. But they've also cobbled, I see what they did. They got going again at some point they spliced onto both ends of this. But if I can get them, I would just rather put all new ones in of what it's supposed to have. Now, is that really the money-saving way? I don't know. But there's another possibility of why they did that thing. And that could be that maybe these are not come-outable anymore, you know? Oh, boys. And then the other ones are under here. So we're gonna get... I honestly don't know where to begin. This one's the top one. Okay, the top one goes, oh man. Well, you see where it goes? It disappears down into that trash, and then it goes forward. But I'm pretty sure that that's one of the ones that actually goes to the steering motor, or to the steering box. And I bet it's not in great shape either. So what I'm going to do, like I said, we're going to fix what's wrong. Then I'm going to see if I can talk him into bringing it to me sometime and letting me go through it more and getting some of this stuff straightened out. I am going to try to get all these loose, because if I could potentially get these loose, we could... oh man, I just don't know. My brain is not handling this well. If I could get it usable again so they can finish what they're doing, then I'm sure there's times of the year when they're using it less. But we need to see if we can get some of those things broke loose. Let's see if we go. I wonder, does the telescope or the tilt thing still work? Nope. It does not, does it? It is stuck in there. So we can't even get that tilted up better. I should have brought a crow's foot, as it turns out. Little did I know. Little did I know that we were gonna have this trouble. Okay. Hey, if they would all go like that, then we'd be all right. I think I need to get this one out of the way and try to loosen the other one. I'm not taking these off today. What I'm wanting to do is just make sure that they're loose on both ends. And if I could get them loose on both ends, then we'll see about ordering things. Okay. That's our one that's actually the problem. Okay, let's put this back, at least loosely. Like I said, that one is obviously a steering back and forth, because when you turn the wheel it leaks, but also because they're both up here. So this other one, which is, it's been leaking too. That's the other one that goes to the front. Then we have your pressure and your return, And this big one here should be the return. I think that's the one that goes, does it go underneath? Yeah, it's not very good either, so we need to see if we can get that broke loose. See it down in there? It also doesn't help that I can't tilt the wheel. That's also a struggle bus here. It also actually would be nice to have another person, believe it or not, to hold stuff like this out of my way. No, we'll get it. 99% of the time I like to work by myself, just because I don't feel like I have to entertain or whatever. Oh, there we go. Okay, I managed to get everything loose on both ends. So that means we can get this stuff ordered and hopefully get it all put in there and life will be grand. Now, this may be mystifying to some people because sometimes lots of hydraulic lines really make them freak out. And then, like I said, this one's the old style steering unit as opposed to the new one. But basically, everything down here is the same. It's just different layout of the way it works, but basically the same. So what you have is this line here runs all the way back to here, and that gives you your priority pressure for your steering. It runs up through this line all the way up here, and it goes into the side of the unit. Then when you're not using oil, it has to have somewhere to go because it's open center system. So your return line is bigger and it's on there, and it comes around through this big tube and it goes up through the cooler. And then when it comes back from the cooler, it comes into this line and then runs into the housing. And I see they have also replaced that at some point, but probably, to me, it looks like it could be replaced again soon. So that's another thing why I'm going to try to convince them to bring it to me sometime. But anyway, so that's your continuous loop. If you do nothing with the steering wheel, it's getting pressure from there, goes to the steering motor, leaves through the return, goes through the cooler, comes back to the reservoir. Now if you turn, then it comes out of one of these two lines and they go down and into the steering motor. Originally it would have been steel lines. This one has been replaced, both of them, with hoses. Most of the ones you run across now have hoses because a lot of the, I mean, when you use them, they wear out. And what would happen a lot of times is if that steering box would get play and that link, that would ruin those lines just immediately. It would, because they didn't have any flex in them. So it would probably it would have been a better design anyway had they put an end of rubber line up there somewhere to give it some play in case of, you know, when stuff wears. Because we know that people, including me, you want to get as much out of it as you can, so you don't stop when it needs it. You wait till something catastrophically fails. But yeah, anyway, basically what I'm saying is when they switch the steering motor, there's not, the rest of the system works kind of the same way, because they had to be able to retrofit the other one in place of this. So that's what they did. There's like a cage that mounts to use these same 2 points, and then the other steering motor mounts in that cage, and then they just uses different lines, and then it hooks to all the places that your other one did. So the only other big difference is this one, this line and this line are different because the other ones use that junction block thing on the frame rail, and so the lines are just a little bit different. The tube that goes from this into there, actually, I wonder if that one I ordered would work on there. I'd put it on there if it would, but I don't know about that. But I'm not happy with, like, see the way they have the hoses. It's so close to the chain coupler, and that ain't no good. So we need to make sure when we get this put back together that we do something different there, because they have that one dangerously. That other one, I would bet that it's been hitting that chain coupler at some point. But that's the kind of stuff I would like to address in a more controlled setting when we have to get this, you know, where we could actually clean it up and do whatever it needs, because it needs quite a bit. I mean, don't kid yourself. I put a starter on it and that makes it start good. But you just see there's lots of little things and leaks and just attention maintenance things that it could use at this point in its life, which would save them a whole lot of sadness later on. And nobody wants sadness right when you need to use it. So we'll see, but this is our priority now, this, and I'm going to get them a muffler because that muffler's trash. And like, it's been sitting out in this field in the rain and filling up with water, and that's not good. So if it ever does get caught out in the rain, we want it to not be hurting things. But I feel like also, before we go, I should continue my quest to try to get that cast piece off of there and see if I can't have that welded. And even if I can't get that other broken bolt out today, if they would bring it to me later, that's another thing I would address. And then this heat shield would be on there more correctly than it is now, because right now, imagination is what's holding that on there. There's 3 studs left. One of them, this one, or 2 of them rather, the nuts are coming loose, which is how it should be. And the other one, I think the whole stud is coming out. But something needs to happen here. Okay, you keep getting too hot, but I got this off of there. It's been broke for a good while because it's been blowing out through there. So I'm gonna see if we can't get that more better than it is, and then that'll at least, maybe we can keep some water out of it, is what I'm saying. That would be nice, because I'd hate for, this is a nice tractor really. I mean, been in their family for years, and we want it to last. So we're going to make sure we fix stuff like that that could pose an immediate threat to water getting in the engine and stuff like that. So yeah, so now I'm going to pick up my stuff. I'm going to put the hood back on. I'm going to cover up things that are open, like the exhaust, fuel line, stuff like that. And then, yeah, I may bring you back here in a second, but let me do that and then we'll talk. Okay, where do we stand? Well, I think I have it fairly secure till we get the parts we need. Then we can come back and we can make this happen. So sadly, it has to sit here. It'll probably be another week because it probably takes a week to get the stuff. But we can hopefully zip it back together, no problems. And then, like I said, I'll talk to him and see if I can't convince him to spend a little money on it, fixing some stuff when it's at home. Like, look, it needs the steering box rebuilt. It's leaking. It's greasy there. Valve cover, it needs, any number of hydraulic lines are on their last leg. Stuff that was replaced years ago, and it's time to do it again. I mean, that kind of stuff. And anyway, that just little maintenance items make a big difference. When you do some, then you don't have as many catastrophic failures like this out in the field. So anywho's, I will bring you back sometime when I get the stuff, and we'll put this back together and we'll live our happy life. So until then, friends, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.